transition to a matchup in Buffalo. The Minnesota Vikings beat the Buffalo Bills 33-30 in overtime for their 7th straight win. The Vikings trailed by 17 points in this game at one point. For the Vikings, Kirk Cousins, he went 30 of 50. He threw for 357 passing yards, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions. Justin Jefferson, the best receiver in the NFL, he had 10 receptions, 193 receiving yards, 1 touchdown. For the Bills, Josh Allen went 29 of 43, threw for 330 passing yards, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions. And Stephon Diggs had a great game as well. He had 12 receptions for 128 receiving yards. So, as I watched this game unfold in the 1 o'clock window, this game came on right before the Cowboys-Packers game Sunday afternoon. As I watched this game, my biggest takeaway from this game is Josh Allen is no longer in the NFL MVP conversation. It's over as of right now, heading into week 11. He's no longer a part of the NFL MVP conversation because the Buffalo Bills, this is their 3rd loss on the season, and all 3 of their losses has been because of Josh Allen. And Josh Allen, in this matchup, you look at what he did in the first 3 quarters of the game compared to what he did in the 4th quarter in overtime. This is in the first 3 quarters of the game. Josh Allen, he completed 76% of his passes. His average yards per pass attempt was 8.6. He had 1 touchdown, 0 turnovers. His passer rating was 114.6. That was in the first 3 quarters of the game. This was in the 4th quarter in overtime. His completion percentage was 56%. His yards per pass attempt was 6.4. He had no touchdown passes, 3 turnovers. His passer rating was 35.4. He also fumbled in the end zone. And there's some more stats. Josh Allen has the most interceptions thrown this season. He's thrown 10 interceptions. That's more than David Mills, who has 9 interceptions. That's more than Matt Ryan, who also has 9 interceptions. And also, Josh Allen has the most interceptions and fumbles this season with 18. Only Matt Ryan and Justin Fields has more. There's more stats. Most red zone interceptions and fumbles this season. Josh Allen has 6. No one else has 5 or 4. So Josh Allen is officially out of the MVP conversation. Tua is playing better than Josh Allen. Patrick Mahomes, despite losing to Josh Allen, is playing better than Josh Allen. Jalen Hurts is playing better than Josh Allen. I know that the Eagles lost last night and their undefeated season is over, but that loss last night wasn't on Jalen Hurts. So the Buffalo Bills have a problem at quarterback, and their star quarterback can't protect the football. And in late game situations, he's not making the necessary plays for the Buffalo Bills to win football games. In this matchup, the Bills, going into halftime, the Bills were beating the Vikings 24-10. They got out to a 17-point lead at one point in this game, and you couldn't close that deal against Kirk Cousins. This ain't Aaron Rodgers. This ain't Patrick Mahomes. This ain't Tua Tagovailoa. This ain't Tom Brady. This is Kirk Cousins. And Josh Allen, he is responsible for the Buffalo Bills losing this game. He's turned the ball over way too many times in the Bills' 3 losses this season. They lost to the Dolphins. They lost to the Jets a few weeks ago. And in both of those games, Josh Allen had multiple turnovers. And when I look at this Bills offense overall as a whole, the biggest issue with the Buffalo Bills, they don't know how to hit singles or doubles. It's either a home run or strikeouts for the Buffalo Bills offensively. And that's the biggest issue with the Buffalo Bills right now. Josh Allen is their entire offense. He's leading them in, obviously passing yards, passing touchdowns, but he's leading them in rushing yards as well. That's an issue for the Buffalo Bills. This is why the Buffalo Bills were trying to trade for Christian McCaffrey. There are reports before the trading deadline that the Bills were interested in Christian McCaffrey. And I see why now, because their offense is so dependent on Josh Allen. And the Buffalo Bills coaching staff, they also need to do a better job of establishing the running game with Singletary. If the Buffalo Bills are going to be true Super Bowl contenders, they need to establish a running game with Singletary. You can't just drop Josh Allen back to pass over 40 times per game and expect to win football games. You have to have a balanced attack. You got to have a balanced attack. Like in this matchup, they did have 175 rushing yards, but Josh Allen had 84 of those 175 rushing yards. You need to establish the running game with Devin Singletary, with James Cook, so that can open up the passing game and the passing game be easier for Josh Allen. Because I think the Buffalo Bills offensively are predictable. They're predictable. The Buffalo Bills are the LA Rams of the AFC. The Rams, they're one-dimensional. They don't have a running game to speak of. Same thing with the LA Rams. Yeah, the Rams have no running game to speak of. Same thing with the Buffalo Bills. They have no running game to speak of. They just are more talented than the LA Rams are. They got more talent with Stephon Diggs, with Gabe Davis, with Dawson Knox. Josh Allen has a strong arm. He's more talented than Matthew Stafford is. But I think the Buffalo Bills are similar to the LA Rams in a lot of ways. They're a one-dimensional football team. And again, you look at their stats, you look at the stats, you're going to say, oh, well, Trey, they're ranked 10th in total rushing yards per game. That's because of Josh Allen. It's not because of their great rushing attack. I look at the best rushing attacks in the NFL. I look at the Packers with Aaron Jones and A.J. Dillon. I look at the Tennessee Titans with Derrick Henry alone. I look at the 49ers with Christian McCaffrey, with Jeff Wilson. The Buffalo Bills, they don't have an average rushing attack, let alone an elite rushing attack. So I think that's the biggest issue with the Buffalo Bills overall. They got a lot depending on Josh Allen. And again, Josh Allen just hasn't protected the football like he is required to do. I witnessed Patrick Mahomes last week on Sunday Night Football against the Tennessee Titans. Patrick Mahomes had over 60 pass attempts in that game. And guess what? Patrick Mahomes put on an MVP caliber performance. In that matchup against the Tennessee Titans, for Patrick Mahomes, he went 43 of 68, 446 passing yards, 1 touchdown. He did have 1 interception, but that shows you that there's levels to this. That's why I told everyone last week, stop comparing Josh Allen to Patrick Mahomes. He is not on Patrick Mahomes' level yet. He's not. He has tremendous talent, but he's not on Patrick Mahomes' level yet. And then one more thing I want to say, too, about the Buffalo Bills overall as a team. For whatever reason, the media is hyping up this Buffalo Bills team. The media wants the Bills in the Super Bowl. And I'm not sold yet. I believe right now the Chiefs are playing better than the Bills are, The Dolphins are playing better than the Bills are. In the NFC, the Eagles are playing better than the Bills are. The Vikings, obviously, are playing better than the Bills are. And everyone overlooked the Bengals. And I'm going to say this in support of the Cincinnati Bengals. Last year, because of Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills' performance against the Kansas City Chiefs in the divisional round, because of that great game that we watched, and it was great. Patrick Mahomes throwing touchdown passes, Josh Allen throwing touchdown passes. Now, everyone coming into the season, they believe that the biggest threat to the Kansas City Chiefs in the AFC was the Buffalo Bills. They have overlooked teams like the Bengals, like the Ravens, like the Dolphins. The Buffalo Bills are not a superior football team over the Dolphins, Chiefs, Ravens, Bengals. They are all on the same level. As a matter of fact, the Chiefs and Dolphins are probably a level above everyone else right now in the AFC. They are. The Dolphins are playing some great football. Tua Tagovailoa is an MVP candidate. So, again, I don't like the Buffalo Bills hype. They, right now, in their division alone, they are third in the AFC East. They're behind the Jets and the Dolphins. They lost both games to the Jets and the Dolphins. So, not only do I believe the Bills are the best team in the AFC, I'm not sure the Buffalo Bills are the best team in the AFC East. I'm not sure the Buffalo Bills are the best team in the AFC East right now. Not with the way that they're currently playing. Now, I want to say this about the Minnesota Vikings. The Vikings are playing some great football. I got to give it up. Even though I cannot stand the Minnesota Vikings are playing some great football. You got to call it what it is. They're playing some tremendous football, and for them to overcome a 17-point deficit, it shows the type of football team that they have. 8-1 in the NFC, number one at the top of the NFC North standings. They're going to win the NFC North. I've been trying to talk myself into believing that maybe Kirk Cousins will fall off and the Vikings will choke away this lead that they have over the Packers in the NFC North. But it's a great chance that the Vikings are going to win the NFC North. This performance solidified it right here. This was it. This was the game where I said, okay, Bills beat the Vikings. Vikings lose a few games in a row. Packers win a couple games in a row. And the Week 17 matchup between the Vikings and Packers at Lambeau Field could determine who wins the NFC North. It won't be a game that's going to determine the NFC North. It's going to determine whether or not the Packers make the playoffs, but not whether or not the Packers can win the NFC North. So I got to give credit to Vikings head coach Kevin O'Connell. He's done an outstanding job with Kirk Cousins this year. I mean, he really has Kirk Cousins playing some good football so far this season. And for them to overcome a 17-point deficit and win this game says a lot about their football team overall. Kirk Cousins for the season, 14 touchdowns, 8 interceptions, 2,356 passing yards. He's completing 64% of his passes this year. I don't believe Kirk Cousins is elite like Mahomes, like Justin Herbert, like Joe Burrow, like Josh Allen, or Aaron Rodgers, or Tom Brady, or Lamar Jackson. I don't think Kirk Cousins is that good. But can you win games with Kirk Cousins? Absolutely. They got so many weapons offensively. They got Dalvin Cook in the backfield. They got Justin Jefferson, the best receiver in the NFL. They got Adam Thielen, who I believe is the second best receiver in the NFL on his team. When you look at number twos in the NFL, I believe Adam Thielen is the best number two you could possibly have. Defensively, you got Smith, you got Harrison Smith as well in your back end. Vikings they're a good football team. They really, really are. And that catch by Justin Jefferson, catch of the year. Best catch of the year by far. And it was better than Odell's catch. And the reason why I say that is the situation. If Justin Jefferson doesn't catch that football, the Vikings don't win this game. That catch that Odell had against the Cowboys, that was in the first quarter, I believe. And the Cowboys still ended up winning that game. So I believe that was the catch of the year by Justin Jefferson. So again, the Vikings are playing some tremendous football. I do believe they need to establish the running game more with Dalvin Cook. But besides that, they play some great football, 8-1 and second right now in the NFC standings.